My name is Alexandra Moskalenko. I was born and raised in Paris. My grandmother on my father's side was an artist. She graduated from the Riga Art Academy. And my dad was a civil engineer, but he was also really creative and a bit of an artist. And my mother became an artist later on in her life. So really early on, I was interested in art. I was given some books at a quite young age about artists. I was just really keen to learn more about techniques, and I was just drawn to being a painter. But I didn't really feel the need to study at college, to study art at college, and I think to reassure my parents, I pursued a more academic path, and I graduated from a business school in Paris. But I've always worked in within the creative industries and in museums and galleries. But I've also always been an artist on the side. I've created exhibition when I was younger, and I've always painted. In terms of the impact that my background has had on my art, I would say that because I come from a multicultural background, I think this has had quite a big influence, and I've always had friends from many different background, and so my painting really celebrates diversity, and I like to show how an environment can influence who you are, and how you can in turn influence an environment. So that's why I enjoy painting characters on fabric, because the fabric creates a really strong contrast with the painting itself. So I just like to show that contrast, how you can fit in, or how you can end up belonging to a place. I'm interested in that very much. I'm also interested in celebrating and valuing and valorizing biodiversity. So sometimes I include animals in my paintings. In terms of my influences, they're really wide. I work in a museum, so I love the work of the old masters. I love contemporary art. I love the work of many artists from the African and Caribbean diaspora. And I'm a bit of a sponge, because everywhere I go, I just enjoy looking at art, learning about artists, learning about their technique, learning about their journey, and so my influence is I get a lot of influence and ideas as well from what I see around me, whether it's in exhibition or pop culture, or this is a really strong influence for me. At the moment, I am focusing on a series about bathers, and on peace as well. They're a bit escapist paintings, I would say, because the world is quite a dangerous place to be at the moment, I feel. So I'm trying to completely switch off when I paint and just create some happier painting, even though they're a bit of an undercurrent of anxiety. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I might, well, actually, I've started a series on dance as well. I had started a long time ago, but I'm starting again. So just people dancing and enjoying themselves in a pretty landscape. The biggest challenge of being an artist, I would say, is trying to find your voice, and trying to acquire the techniques and the language that allows you to communicate the way you want to communicate. Sometimes you have an idea in your head, but it doesn't translate exactly the way you want when you start creating a piece of art. So that's one of the challenges. There's so many, in fact. Another aspect of another challenge is to practically to try and find places where you can exhibit your work. It's not always easy. Trying to be noticed for what you're doing, trying to be original, and creative all the time. Yeah, so these are some of the challenges of being an artist. The advice I would give my younger self, I would say, is to believe in yourself a little bit more, to be a little bit more disciplined, because I've had a period in my life when I've completely stopped painting and started again and stopped painting again, you know. So I would try and be a little bit more consistent, I would say. Yes, and try, and don't be scared to experiment and try different things. That's I would definitely say that to my younger self. In terms of unconventional mediums and techniques, absolutely, I'm trying, and I've used many different techniques: oil paint, acrylic, pastel, spray can, watercolor. I'm always trying different ways and see how, you know, how this new medium create a different feel and different feeling and different emotions. So that's really interesting. Do I listen to music? Yes, I do. It depends, really. Sometimes I like complete silence, and sometimes I like to listen to music. I usually put BBC Radio 6 because they have a really wide range of an eclectic mix of music from all over the world, so that I find that quite inspiring and stimulating. Or sometimes when there is a CD I particularly like at that moment, I tend to play it in the loop. It just allows me to be in the zone, you know, and just to keep working and be in my own little bubble in a way. The best reaction someone has had to my work is just, it's always really encouraging and pleasant and nice when someone likes your work. As an artist, you try and convey a lot of emotions or to tell stories when you create an artwork, and it's always really good and interesting when someone add their own stories and emotions to your artwork. You don't always know what it's about, but when that connection is made, when someone connects with your work, and when this a particular artwork triggers something in them, it's really fascinating, in fact. Yeah, so that's always a good feeling. What do I hope people take away from my work? I don't have a particular wish as to what I would like people to take away. I'm trying to create inspiring, creative, and creative artwork in the hope that people will like it and will like my paintings, and that it can evoke some special emotions for them, and that they enjoy looking at them when they have this artwork in their home. So I don't have a particular yes, I just like when someone like my work, basically. Yes. And I think that's all you want to know. So thank you very much for your interest. And my Instagram is Alexandra Moska, or Moska_art gallery. And please drop me a DM if you want more information about my work. Thank you very much.